talking about. Kaboom.
Diane! 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 I don't understand. Where can she be?
I don't know, and I don't care.
John, just a minute, please. Diane?
Hey, come on, no more time for romance? I guess we did overdo it a little bit at my place this morning, though, didn't we?
Sweetheart, please. It's just that Emma told me that Diane went out this morning and she's still not back yet. I'm worried. What if the crack dealers have decided to take out their revenge on her?
Come on now, this panic's coming out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere? How can you possibly say that? Are you forgetting that yesterday I almost became today's obit?
Well, that is over and done with, and this is a new day. And don't forget, you gave Diane Bristol your apartment. She's free to come and go as she pleases. She is not a prisoner, you know.
You're right. She's an 18-year-old girl, and she certainly doesn't want to sit around the house all day long. Exactly. And she certainly wouldn't run away out of town and jump bail. No.
Exactly. So, let's relax, huh?
Yes. Sit down on my lovely couch. Oh, that feels so good. So nice and soft. I cannot wait to get into my wonderful king-size bed.
What was so awful about my bed this morning?
Nothing. It's just that I was so busy making love to you, I didn't even know where I was. I certainly knew who I was with, though.
Well, I think that's all that matters.
And I was so filled with elation and victory.
And lust?
Yes, and lust. My darling, you are my big, handsome, sexy savior. And I absolutely adore you. Dorian?
We can come back.
No, it's perfectly all right. Come on in.
Yes, please do.
Well, there you are. Hi. Out of that horrible place. It's so good to have you here. Oh, I have to confess, though, excuse me, a little bit of a mother hen. When I found out that you'd gone out this morning and you hadn't come back, I was worried.
Oh, well, Mary Lynn Dennison took me on a tour of Landwood University, and then I ran into Cord here about to ring your doorbell.
I see. Hello. It's good to see you.
Good to see
and
you.
I see you brought your camera.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here, all ready to take your picture.
Oh, well, please, won't you sit down?
Great.
Correct me if I am wrong, but I thought that you were just a photographer for the banner and not a reporter.
Well, yes, ma'am, you got that right, but Clint's going to come over a little bit later, take the story himself. See, he wanted me to come over, take some pictures, and get some notes. Oh, I'm sorry, you probably haven't even heard yet, have you? Vikki Buchanan gave birth to a beautiful 7-pound baby girl yesterday.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Hey, that's terrific. Everything fine?
Oh, yeah, mother and daughter are doing just fine, and Daddy is so thrilled he's just grinning from ear to ear. Can't even keep his mind on work lately.
And why shouldn't he feel that way? I mean, this is terrific. A little girl is just what the Buchanans need.
Yep.
Kind of makes me miss my little girl. I'm going to have to call her today. And I'm going to call Vikki and congratulate her on, what are they calling the little girl?
Oh, Jessica Ann.
Pretty.
She's got perfect hair, perfect eyes. I tell you, she's as cute as a button.
Oh, that's wonderful. So yesterday was the day of 2 births. Little baby Jessica and a new lease on life for me and hopefully for all the inmates at Statesville prison.
Oh, you were something else. My gosh, a real live heroine. And I'm living in your house.
So tell me, is it true what I heard on the radio today?
What?
About how you grabbed the matron like that and held a knife to her?
I had to do something.
Yeah? And what about you, John? Shooting a gun out of the warden's hand like that, like something out of an old western.
Yeah, well, sometimes I surprise even myself.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about if you two step right over here and I'll take some pictures.
All right.
Yeah, well, I guess that's why you were so concerned about your hair and makeup this morning, huh?
That's why I insisted that you wear my favorite sport coat.
You could have warned me this was a media event, you know.
Couldn't you have guessed?
Yeah, knowing you, I guess I should have.
Terrified because at first it looked like the other women were not going to back me up.
But they did.
Yes, but that was only at the last minute. And then the warden, he borrowed a gun from Matron Spitz and blew a hole right through the ceiling. Well, that pretty much blew a hole right through everybody's courage, including mine.
Ooh, well, you're lucky that he didn't just shoot you.
Oh,
You got that right.
he certainly wasn't going to let himself shoot me right there and then be stuck with having to drag my limp body out to the city dump.
Limp body? City dumps?
Oh, Herb, it's so good.
Yeah, this must be where Annie Oakley Lord lives.
Oh, stop it. I'm so glad you're here.
It's funny we should meet this way, isn't it? Instead of at the morgue.
Aren't you glad I saved you a trip out there?
Yeah, well, I'd rather take a twig to your backside for 2 minutes.
It all worked out, didn't it?
Yeah, only because a very enterprising young detective stumbled on the fact that you weren't in your bed. Isn't that correct, John?
Actually, what happened is I was sneaking into her cell to wake her up so I could yell at her for staying in the prison when you had managed to get her released.
Excuse me. All right, I admit what I did was perhaps foolhardy, ill-conceived, even dangerous. But who is behind bars right now? Where am I? I am outside. I am free to enjoy the sunshine and the rainfall of life.
No.
That's a very good quote, Cord. You write that down so Clint can use it.
Well, I've walked into an interview.
Yes.
Oh, don't worry about it. Very informal. Dorian, you were at the part where the warden had just fired the warning shot.
Oh, yes. He then said that he was going to shoot Jeannie, who was a friend of mine, and after her, he was going to shoot another inmate and then another, unless I acquiesced. So, of course, I wasn't going to allow that to happen. So just at the point when it seemed like the inevitable catastrophe was going to occur, when literally my life was flashing in front of me, who should put in an appearance but John?
Just like the cavalry.
Yes, with gun in hand.
Yeah, with his heart in his stomach and out of breath, about to see the evil matron killing the lady that he adores.
And he told the matron to freeze and drop it.
Oh, did she?
With a little friendly persuasion.
Yeah, and just when we thought that we were safe,
Wait a minute, you mean the instant replay of your life stopped flashing before your eyes?
the warden pulled a gun. We didn't even know he had one.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but Jeannie Johnson saw it just in the nick of time, and I whirled and...
Yes, pulled the gun right out of his hand.
Yeah, and rumor has it that you then grabbed the matron and held a knife on her.
Yes, well, I had to. You see, she had dropped her gun on the floor, and she was going for it, and... Well, I put a stop to that real quick. Amid the cheers and applause of my very good friends, the other inmates at Statesville.
Yay!
However,
Bravo.
case isn't quite closed, and some of the bad guys are still on the loose. Spitz and McFadden have refused to name the dealers who actually bought the coke and bribed them to use the inmates to process the crack.
Well, my darling, that is now your job, isn't it? And I hope you handle it as well as I handled my end. Of course, with John's assistance.
Yeah, seriously, Dorian, we have to talk. I've got cops interviewing the inmates who were forced to participate. None of them saw any outside people, so we don't have any leads.
I'm afraid neither do I.
And neither do I.